You're watching Awjiz Boys Show.
Viewer discretion advised. The Awjiz Boys with Dawood and Kane as satire shows intended for mature audience. Okay, the view, thought, and opinion expressed are solely those of the Awjiz Boys and do not represent any business, partner, or affiliate.
A lot of people don't know this about me, but I work in digital marketing. Did you know that about me when you first met me?
No, I thought you were a DoorDasher.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
still
much.
think you're a DoorDasher. I didn't know that till this very second that you're in digital marketing.
Now you know.
Okay.
All right?
For now, I'll forget.
Yes. Okay.
Next time I introduce you, like, this is Kane. He's a DoorDasher.
When we first met and we went to that random diner,
I remember that second.
Yes.
No, yeah.
You were just like, what did you know about me?
I thought you were a manager.
Yes, that is
I
correct.
thought you were, because I don't think I was signed yet.
Okay.
I was looking to get signed. I was like, I'll meet up with an Afghan manager.
Yes.
Maybe he'll want to sign me.
Yeah.
And I met up with you, and then you're like, yeah, I do this. And I'm like, okay, this guy seems cool.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, so he's just a DoorDasher.
Yes.
That was the conclusion I had after I learned everything.
Well
Yeah.
done. Well done.
But I thought you were a manager. That's what I thought it was.
Okay.
I thought like you managed like artists.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is true. That is correct, and
Yeah.
I did, and I do. So initially, a lot of people found out that I represent Crescent,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, "You're the manager guy, and you do this,"
Yeah.
and that was my role. But they didn't know what I did in general. They just thought I was the guy who negotiated things. So that was how it hit. But can I tell you how this all started? Can I
What
tell you the story of how Afghans even know who I am?
Okay. Yeah. Let's learn about why Afghans know you.
Okay, this is very lame story.
1979, the Russians invaded. Yeah.
My father got involved. I don't want to talk about it. Nah. So what happened was this. In 2015, 2016, my younger brother
Mm-hmm.
goes by the rap name King H at the time. Now is going by Crescent.
What was his original rap name?
King H.
Okay, it's good you dropped that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. Good glow up.
But that lets you know how long he's been rapping. He's
Yeah.
been rapping since he was 12.
He was in rapping since he had a bad rapper name. That's a good sign.
That's a great
You know?
sign. You know what I mean?
Every good rapper has changed their rap name at least once.
Unless your name Pimp C. He didn't change his name.
Oh yeah, he should have. Yeah.
But now it's like kind of,
Now
I don't know what else to
It's
see.
but like what, Titty Boy? Do you remember Titty Boy?
I remember Titty Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who Titty Boy is now?
Yeah, I know I know music.
Well, say it.
2 Chainz.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know. I was like, I totally forgot.
Well, did you know what group he was in?
no, it was a group.
Players Circle.
Players Circle.
Yeah, so he was in a group and he was Titty Boy of Players Circle. And he was
Okay.
signed to DTP, Ludacris's label.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Titty Boy.
Yeah,
Titty Boy's pretty funny.
Yeah,
but
Titty Boy.
I guess it's crazy because 2 Chainz isn't. I guess 2 Chainz is better.
2 Chainz, anything's better than Titty Boy.
That's what it is. Yeah. It's not like 2 Chainz is great, but Titty Boy is
Yeah,
terrible.
most people are like, 2 Chainz, that name sucks.
Yeah, but like you should have heard what he was called before.
Yeah.
Before that, it's even worse. It was N-word Joe, dude. You just love Huckleberry Finn. You ever read that book? Okay.
I love that.
N-word Jim. Do you remember him?
I just didn't call him Jim.
Okay, you just called him the N-word?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
So when Afghans first found out who I was, they were like, "Oh, you're the manager of King H, who's now Crescent."
Yeah.
But prior to that, let me tell you the full story. So Crescent blew up. His song blew up in Australia.
What song?
One of his songs is called Jung Freestyle. Jung.
Okay, yeah.
And the reason the song is called Jung is because it sampled a very famous Korean song.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a huge Korean demographic in
Australia.
Vancouver and Australia.
Bizarre.
Random.
Yeah.
So a lot of Koreans in Vancouver knew who this guy was.
Yeah.
They didn't even know he was a local dude. And then Australian people knew about him.
They didn't know what he looked like, though.
They did not.
So they just thought it was just some Korean guy.
They knew they thought he was a white kid.
Okay.
Because like King H's branding initially was you cut out the eyes and it was just all shadows and so it was like silhouettes just to add more mystery to the character. You know,
Okay.
at the time I'm like, I'm not branding to Afghans. What's the point?
Yeah.
So what I did was when I realized, I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, regardless of your song blowing up, you need a fan base. Who would, before we show this guy to the public, we got to rebrand him. So I said, H, we call him H. So
Yeah.
his name is Halal. So I said H, Crescent. give me your Twitter account. And he didn't like social media at the time, or whatever.
Same.
Yeah. So he's like, and he was in college at the time. So I'm like, yo, let me do it. So I took his Twitter account and I changed his name to Ahmad Zaire.
Hilarious.
And then I pinned the music video he just dropped for Jung Freestyle, which at the time had 100,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
The song went viral on Spotify, by the way. That's what I mean. It went viral. So he was getting paid off that, which is dope. But at the same time, when the video came out, I pinned it, called him Ahmad Zaire. Then at the time, I just went and searched Afghanistan or whatever. Anybody who tweeted anything about Afghanistan, I just follow them. I'm like, let me just follow these accounts. What happens? And in that process, I ended up following someone who was part of a committee, an organization.
Oh,
yes. And that organization is called
Taliban.
No.
The Northern Alliance.
No. They were called, I mean, in Farsi, we call them Daesh. They were called ISIS.
Okay.
And they made us a couple of offers, and we were like, nah, we can come up with a better one. All right. So then we ignored them. But then a worser organization started contacting us, but they had a better deal.
Oh.
So we made a deal with them. So they're called the I'm just playing. They're dope people. They're called the Afghan-American Conference.
And they give you a worse deal? Was that true?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll tell you because like it's
Was there actually two things? Was there another thing before this thing?
No, it wasn't.
Okay. That is great storytelling.
Yeah, thank you so much. ISIS never reached out to us, unfortunately.
No, I know not ISIS, but like there wasn't like another AAC.
I wish.
Okay.
So they reached out and they said, we would like to speak to you, etc. Talk to your manager. I pick up the phone and this one of the persons working there, her name is Gina Karimi. And she was part of the music people. She's like, oh, we like the music. We think it's great. And I think you should be a part of this, etc. I'm talking to her and everything is cool. I'm getting good vibes from this person. Even though it's like a professional thing. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. So they're like, we want you to come fly to DC. And it's going to be like $300 or $400. Come here. And in my mind, I'm thinking, we're in Canada. Me just buying the ticket doesn't cover that. The hotel doesn't cover that. And on top of that,
that's what they offered you?
They offered me $380 for Crescent, for King H.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you guys know what's going on? Like, what you're actually asking?
Yeah.
And they were like, I know it's not much, but this is something kind of thing. And then, by the way, I found out that every other musician took that money.
Okay.
Just like that 300 or whatever.
Yeah.
And when I found that out, I was just like, I talked to H, and H is like, yo, first of all, he said, yo, fuck this shit. He said, why am I doing this?
For sure.
Fuck Afghans. I don't know them.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they want me to perform a 20-minute plus set of all my songs to a crowd of 400 or 300 people.
Yeah.
And all I get is like between $350 to $400.
Yeah, it's terrible.
This makes, why would I fucking do this?
Yeah.
And I said, let me think about this. I thought about this, and then I called the conference back. I said, we'll be there, but take that and donate it back to you guys because I see what you guys are trying to do, getting professional.
I respect it.
And I didn't know much about it. And Creston's like, what the fuck is it? And I said, don't worry. I paid for the tickets.
Yeah.
Paid for the hotel. I said, yo, we're going to this thing.
Okay.
He's like, all right, no worries. We made some money off the music, so it was a business expense.
Yeah.
But we didn't have to do it there. It could have been at other places. We go to the fucking conference.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I meet random people that are Afghan that look like surfer dudes, guys that are so chill. And I'm like,
what year was this?
2017.
Okay.
I'm in DC.
How long has this thing fucking been going on?
2015.
That's when it started.
It started, yes. So
God
this
damn.
was the second year.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I guess 2015, 2016, 27. So I guess the third year. Yeah.
Okay.
So this was the third year, and I guess they got their shit together because when I went there, everything looked professional. They all kind of knew us, and I was just like, "This is interesting." Afghans talking to us and modern and speaking English. I was like, "This is kind of wild." And when I saw all of this, and I was like, "This is crazy," and then we had Crescent and I. We had a pop set, all of his PC clean songs, no swearing at all.
Okay. Yeah.
And we went, and then I told H, I'm like, you don't need to go to any of these classes. I'll go check it in because they are like, you have to go to one of these sessions. I went there.
Why would you have to go to one of the sessions?
They said you should.
Okay.
I don't think it's an obligation anymore, but at the time they're like, we need you to go. So like, all right. So
Like to speak or just to go watch?
just to watch.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right. I went to one, I think it was called Dating, and it was about being gay and Afghan.
Okay.
It was led by a guy named Bilal. And if you want to know who he is, he's the Bilal on Instagram. Like he has the handle Bilal.
Nice. Good for him.
Just some gay dude, right?
Just some gay dude.
Who's Afghan.
Who's Afghan?
And I was like, this is incredible.
Okay.
I'm seeing gay. And at the time, I'm single. I just got off a relationship. And I see a chick that I'm like, damn, this chick is cute. Okay, I'm feeling her.
Yeah.
And then she starts speaking. I'm like, oh shit, let's find out. And she's like, so I started dating a woman. I'm like, God damn it, why does this always happen? I always ended up liking the chicks that like girls.
We all like those chicks, dude.
So I'm like, it's all good. I left it as that. And then I remember that I was just so blunt and people were offended right away.
Why were they offended? Because
Okay.
they were like, just being gay?
Kind of.
Okay.
Because they were like, get into
Why
a
would, there
small...
be, why would people even go to the dating gay thing? Is it a gay dating thing or just a
It
dating
was,
thing?
it was, they were talking about dating in general, and there was a separate dating one, but it ended up being a dating conversation. But they started about being gay and Afghan, and what is it? What's the other one? Where
Bisexual?
uh,
Sapiosexual?
just non-binary, I guess, non-binary,
Non-binary?
non-binary and Afghan, and then they were like, get into small groups and talk about just what does that
Non-binaries have to wear chadars? Half?
have.
Okay.
They can have it floating. It's like Iran. So I was like, all right, let me go to this fucking thing. And I went to the smaller session and they were like, talk about your experience about what you think homophobia looks like in our community. And I was like, oh, well, when I grew up and I did anything bad, my dad would be like, damn, why is my kids acting gay? And I thought they'd be like, ha ha ha. They were like, I'm so sorry. Are you traumatized? Is that okay?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. This
sure.
is not the response I wanted. I went to another session and it was kind of cool. They were talking about how we can get people involved or whatever. And I kind of liked it, but the main theme that I saw in each session that I went to was, we want to challenge the norm, challenge what it means to be Afghan, show us diversity within our diaspora. Diaspora?
Whatever that was.
Okay, diaspora. Show us that. That's what this is all about.
Mm-hmm.
I see Crescent. I'm like, hey, we're changing your set tonight.
Oh.
And he's like, why? And he's like, I'm performing. These people are so like sanguine and Awjiz.
Yeah.
Crescent is 21 at the time.
Awjiz.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. He's 21 at the time, by the way. And everybody for some reason thought he was 30.
Yeah.
Because he had his hat down. He has sunglasses.
How old is he?
And 21.
21.
So he's 21, right?
At the time, yeah.
Yeah. So cool. I'm in that whatever session was, and I think that in my head. I'm texting him. He's like, no, I'm not doing this. Fuck this. Look at all these people.
Yeah.
And then after, I'm like, let's just get lit. So we drink a little bit or something like that. And he's like, you know what? Let's fucking do it.
Nice.
And then
You're an enabler, bro. You do that to me too. I've noticed that. You're like, have a drink before this episode. I'm like, I don't want to drink. He's like, you should drink. It's like, all right, we're saying crazy shit then.
I look at you in the future.
Yeah.
And I look that you're gonna be happy that happened.
Yeah.
So
most of the time it's true. Also, I love booze. It's not a hard sell.
It didn't take much. You're like, I don't want to drink. Are you sure? Yeah, and you're drinking.
Yeah. I shouldn't. So, okay. You got me.
It was one of those situations. So we started drinking and I'm meeting everyone. Everyone's so nice and Awjiz and everything.
Yeah.
They have no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Everybody's performing. This one guy goes before. His name is Subat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He went there before. He and this white guy actually set up the music thing for them because they were having difficulty with the setup.
Oh, wow.
So very well done on that.
Yeah,
So
I like
thank
that guy.
you. He's a very
Yeah, he's a good musician. I think it's weird, which I like.
That's how you know he's good.
It's like his name's like AJ Sabat, and his music is
That's not Subat.
it's like I've never heard like an Afghan make that kind of music. It's like it's experimental as fuck, and I really enjoy it.
Do you know Shay Rabi?
No,
I think you do know him.
okay,
Yeah. He's from New York and he makes similar type
Same stuff?
music.
I like it. I like
But
stuff.
more Playboy Cardi, more a Young Thug,
Okay,
but really fire, really talented.
gotcha.
So we have talented people in our community.
Yeah,
Anyway, Subat set up this whole thing. He does a very nice melodic set. Everyone likes it. And then I told Crescent, I said, hey, if you want to go up there, you got to go win them over first before you go hard.
of course.
And I said, go rap a cappella something. before you start.
Interesting.
No one knows what it is. And this trick I actually got from J. Cole. So J. Cole said when he was performing for Jay-Z, he was the opener. Everybody was getting on their chairs. Nobody knew who the fuck J. Cole was because he didn't have clout. So he said how I would win people over is to say, let me just spit a freestyle so you know I can rap. Then I'll play my songs. So you kind of see who I am. Show my skill. He did a freestyle. I said, do a freestyle which is related to religion and God and challenging that a little bit.
Okay.
I know it, but we don't have to do that. Crescent can do that on his own set. So when he did that, the whole audience was like, oh my God, wow, we love this. Oh my, they were clapping. They were like, oh, wow. They were like, this is, we want that. We want this. By the way, there's no swearing in that.
Okay.
There's no swearing in that freestyle.
Yeah.
And when he did that, he was like, all right, are you guys ready to turn the fuck up?
Really?
And then everybody's like, what? But prior to that, so let me think about
this.
While this is happening, I went up to all the other lit Afghans that I met in DC, a lot of lit Afghans.
Of course.
I want to shout out Abdullah, if you're watching this from DC, who's and Ismat, who is a psychologist. He's a doctor.
I know him. Yeah,
you know him.
Yeah.
Curly hair, amazing.
Cool ass guy.
Cool ass dude. Both of those guys, my guys, I need you guys to bring everybody. And there's another rapper there. His name is Silo Mentality. I don't know if he still raps, but he was part of that. I said, guys, please come up and be the original, the front dancers. And the other two people I asked and that were there was Medina, Brickers and Beer, and Hasna.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
They were like super tight, and I'm like, please, that would be great. We need some females to do this as well. And they're like, great, awesome. They were just dancing and being like supportive and everything. So the moment King H is like, or Crescent is like, it's time to turn the fuck up. Those people came in and they started, and he started going in. It was like, bitch, fuck. And then he had a song that he said the N-word. And it was just. It was just like a diss song that he made for this one dude that he was actually having beef with. And at the time, people didn't know who he was. So it was the Nav time where even Nav was not. Anyways, now I throw it around. But what I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to say is he did that performance. Half the people, like not half, let's say like 10% left. They're like, this is not what we signed up for.
Okay.
And then the other people were turning up and other people were filming. They liked all this. And I'm just like...
That's a win.
But that's not the win.
Oh,
that's not the win.
Okay.
I get a text from the organizers. They're like, tomorrow we're having a town hall meeting in the morning and we're going to talk about all this. And then I told Crescent, I'm like, you stay home. I'm going to go to this. I went and sat at the very front. Like sitting down. It's an auditorium. Like it's like a classroom, a large classroom.
For sure.
Let's say there's 150 to 200 people there. And in that, everybody's expressing why they shouldn't have gotten King H Crescent as a rapper. And they were all talking about why this was the worst decision they made. And then they're just trying to...
What were the things? Like why were they mad?
Okay. One, someone said, why was the use of profanity there?
Okay.
Bitch and fuck.
Yeah.
And he's a rapper.
Yeah.
And they said, shame on him for doing all that, for performing that into a conference. All right. And then after that, another guy said, I listen to this kind of music, but not around my sister and my mother. So there's women there. Why did he perform that around women? I'm like, thank you, Talib.
Yeah,
excellent.
That's great to say.
And then somebody, so
we don't listen to rap in front of the ladies.
And then there's somebody else saying like, I didn't like how he was dressed. He doesn't represent Afghans. He didn't represent me at that moment. They were just personally attacking him.
Yeah, no, they do what all Afghans do when they see someone having fun.
Yeah, they were like,
there's something wrong about
something wrong with this kid over and over again.
For sure.
They had no idea I was at the front.
Okay.
So when everything was done, the guy who was hosting everything was like, hey man, everything is, the thing is, I met both of them. They're great guys. They actually refused to get paid. They came in on their own time. They're solid people. If anything, his manager, his brother's right here. And everyone's like, oh, what? His manager's here? And I said, yo, could I say something? And the guy's like, yeah, please come through. And I was just like, all right, guys, sorry. I normally don't speak in front of people. But the thing is, I do apologize. What the thing is, Crescent is how he grew up and the people he's around is not a representation of myself and probably you either. But he's a 21-year-old kid and he's influenced by this type of music and he's successful at this. So we thought this is what you guys wanted because his music is public and you can see that. So I apologize once again. We'll try to do better in the future. Thank you for not attacking him, but attacking the idea and what he needs to work on. That was the shade.
Yeah,
That was the
100% shade, because that's not what they did.
I did that, and people are like, "Fuck, oh my God, thank you so much." They started clapping me, and then everybody, and I was like, "You bitch ass
You fake-ass motherfuckers,
you
right.
fucking idiots."
Yeah.
I walked out of there. Some people, this one dude, Weiss, he's a lawyer, came up to me, and he was one of the guys pushing it, but he took his comment back, who was like, "I don't represent all this," but then he's like, "Wait a minute, I listen to Migos, so they rap about the same thing. I take my criticism back." He said that. He was the only one who said that.
They like retracted.
I went up to him. I went to talk to every single person individually after. I'm like, tell me your concern.
Yeah.
Nobody had a good point. They were all just like, I need a moment to talk, so the attention's on me. And I listened to them. And they had nothing great to say. And I heard all of this. But that whole conference became the King Age conference that he swore in this. And that was the whole point of the fucking thing. Because they had the
exposure.
They're MAGA. Instead of MAGA, they were like, we want to see Afghan diversity. We are inclusive. Bring the diversity to us.
Yeah.
The moment we did it, they're like, no, not that type of diversity.
Not that type of diversity, for
they
sure.
They couldn't see the irony in that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's fine. We did our job and stepped away. And then ever since then, people were like, oh, Afghans knew who he was. Afghans started following, because prior to that, he had a non-Afghan audience.
Yeah.
And then they started growing with him. And then in the pandemic, it became a little bit more. And that was my initial experience with a conference called the Afghan-American Conference, called the AAC, which has now been rebranded to the AACO, which is the Afghan-American Community Organization.
Okay.
And the conference is part of that.
Okay.
And I do want to hear your side, but can I just say, hey,
we're the Awjiz Boys.
We're the Awjiz Boys. And today, we're not as funny, but we're going to tell you something you need to watch, because the Afghan-American Conference is probably one of the best things to happen to Afghans since...
ever. We haven't had a lot of good things happen to Afghans.
Yes.
Since welfare checks? I don't know.
Since Afghans discovered that they could finesse the government via social services. So here we are.
Uber.
Okay.
Or DoorDash.
Since DoorDash. Since the company I work for, and I don't mean the corporate side, I mean going door to door to people. Thank you for letting me talk for a while.
For sure, yeah.
I would love to hear your side of how you discovered about this conference and how they contacted you.
I knew about them, I think, during 2020. During COVID, they had a year where it was all digital, online or whatever.
Yes.
And I was just like Googling stuff, like Afghan creators and stuff. And somehow I ended up watching a Zoom of like their Afghan creators talking about an Afghan movie.
Oh.
And I was like, I just hated everything they were saying. I disagreed so much.
What were they saying that you disagreed with?
I think it was about the movie...
The Afghan Star that was made by Reza Aslan, I think.
No. It was Rock the Kibosh or whatever.
That's what it was.
With
by
Tina Fey in it.
I think we're saying the same thing. It just I said the wrong name.
Oh, okay.
Rock the Kibosh. Yeah,
it's with Fahim Anwar's in it, I think.
Never mind. I don't know this.
It's like a comedy about like a reporter who goes to Afghanistan and kind of just like does shit there.
Did you watch it?
No, I don't watch it.
Oh, okay. Now I want.
Margot Robbie's in it.
Okay, I want to watch
it.
I'd
watch it for her.
Okay.
But I didn't watch it, so I don't really have I don't remember what their arguments were, but I remember them just like shitting on it, and I was like just like defending art.
Yes.
And being like, I'm just fucking happy to have anything.
Yeah.
You know? But that's the first time I ever heard of these guys, but I didn't think anything of it. And then it was our mutual friend. What's his name?
Which one?
The one, he's in Toronto now, that we went to. Fuck, is it Issa?
Issa, yes.
Is it Issa or Masi? I don't remember if it's Issa or Masi. Do we know Masi?
I know.
He just got married not that long ago.
I don't know if he wants that out, but yes.
Why would you want that? Anyways. Okay, all right, we'll timestamp that.
Okay.
But
yes, Issa, who was in Detroit at the time, then moved to the Bay.
Yeah, he came to my
he's
comedy
originally
shows.
From Toronto. Go ahead.
He came to my comedy shows.
Yes.
He he just would be in the audience a few times.
Okay.
He didn't know I was like performing. He would just come to a show and I'd be on stage. And because he liked comedy, and he'd go to the punchline, I was always there. And I ran into him a few times. And it's just nice to see another Afghan, especially at a comedy show. And he just, like, we became cool. And then he's the one who's like, dude, you should go to this thing. It's AAC.
Whoa.
And I'm just like, nah, I don't really, no, thank you.
Yes.
And he goes, no, trust me, bro. They're like cool. They'll fuck with you. They're like my type of people. And I'm like, okay. So then I just like submitted. He like really bugged me about it. Like he didn't let it go.
Okay.
And then I submitted to like be just like to show up to it, not to perform, not to do anything.
Participant.
Just to be, just to like hang out with other Afghans.
Cool.
And it was in Davis, which is like, I was living in the Bay, so it's like, it's not that far of a drive.
Nice.
And
And this is what year?
2022?
No, when did you find out about the conference?
The year I submitted.
Oh, so that 2022, you found out, and then you're like,
Yeah.
it's coming up, I'll apply.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah. The Issa was like, submit to this thing, it's cool. You'll like it. I'm like, but convinced pretty easily because I do like Afghans. I was like, yeah, I just want to be around other Afghans, you know?
Yeah.
Cool, hip, intelligent, educated Afghans.
Facts.
Unlike myself. But
Disagree? Continue.
so I signed up for this thing.
Okay.
I didn't think like also the sign up process is fucking difficult. They ask you so many fucking questions.
Yes.
And I don't know if you know this well enough about me. How much effort do you think I put into those questions?
Probably like one word answer.
One word answers all the way through.
Yes.
Right. So that's why I thought everybody gets into these things. No, they have no filtering because I said the stupidest shit. I was just making jokes the whole time. I belittled every question.
Yes.
But then I did like put in the only part I took like was like a resume thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of like when I was like, I just submit like I've done this, I've done that. You know, like this is my perspective. Everything else I was like, fuck it, dude, who cares?
Yeah.
8 I-I-I-D squiggly line, you know?
Got it. Well done.
Yes. You know what that is?
8 IID.
8 I yeah, capital D, dude.
Well done. How? Wait. You mean equal sign?
You can do equal sign.
Yes.
Equal sign's better.
Equal signs. Right.
I do eyes.
How many equal
Mine's a
signs
stick.
do you add? Oh, okay.
You know, dude. A man doesn't share how many equal signs he puts. Okay.
Well done.
Between me and my lady.
Got it.
Okay, she knows how many equal signs. 1. And
Yes.
so 8 equal sign, capital D.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing stuff like that. So I didn't think it was like a big deal.
Yes.
And then like a week before or 2 weeks before, I get an email from them being, hey, like I think I had just started going more viral.
Got it.
Or I was already viral on TikTok at that point. I had a big TikTok following.
Yes.
And
Sick.
these people, they reach out to me like a week or 2 before, and they're like, hey, man, we're happy to have you coming. Do you want to perform?
Okay.
And I was just like, I've done enough corporate gigs. I've done enough like gigs where I just fucking hate them. And I knew this was going to be one that I would not have fun at.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, no, you know,
Nice.
I'll do it for this much money.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't know, $4,000 or whatever, like, you know, for like 30 minutes.
Got it.
And they're like, we don't. No, that's not in our budget at all.
Yes. Sounds about right.
And then they were like, we'll have you host. Do you want to host?
Yeah.
I was like, I really don't want to do that either. They're like, no, dude, it's very easy. You just bring up the perp people. They do have to tell jokes.
Yes.
And they're like, no, you don't really have to tell jokes. Like, yeah, as long as I don't have to do my act,
Mm-hmm.
if I could I'll just go up there, bring up the next person. I don't mind doing that. How hard is that's, you know, that all help, you know?
Yeah.
I get there. So I agree to that, to host for free, not tell any real jokes, just going to be, maybe do like a riff here and there.
Yep.
I get there, and the first day I get there, I see like everybody's coming up to me and be like, we're so excited to see you perform. And I'm just like, I'm not performing. I'm just hosting a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, you know, I'm just going to bring up the guests. I don't really, it's not a thing.
But also, everybody came up to you like, "Hey, I know you."
There's a lot of people coming up to me like, "Dude, you're the fucking guy." Also,
Yeah.
I stand out, and also, I was still you had to be formal.
Yes.
So I wore like the most color. I didn't have a dress shirt, so I went to like Target and bought the most flowery, it's the loudest dress shirt I could find. And so I stood out, and a lot of people, they come up to me, they're like, "Oh, I'm a fan." Da, da, da.
That's
But then throughout like the performance was like on Saturday. I was there like on a Friday or Thursday, whatever.
Yes.
And every day people like, we're so excited to see you perform.
sick.
And I have to like tell everybody, I'm not performing.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just bringing up the people. Don't expect any jokes. I might riff here or there. I just kept reaffirming that to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see like the day of, they give me the list or like the schedule.
Yes.
And I see that I'm like doing like 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes in between every single act. I'm like, what do you mean 2 or 3 minutes? The fuck am I supposed to do? Like, you can tell your jokes in there, man. It's like, I didn't want to have to.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is what I wanted to avoid.
That's how they finessed you.
They finesse the fuck out of me. But it's also, that is the worst way to do jokes. No momentum.
Yes.
Imagine Crescent going up doing one song,
Yes.
stopping, doing another song, stopping, doing another song,
Yes.
and then something else happens, stopping. Like
I mean, Kanye does that. He has one song, then rants for an hour.
yeah, it's Kanye. Okay.
So they wanted a Kanye.
But even that,
Yeah,
that's still Kanye the whole time.
yeah.
Imagine Kanye going up,
Yeah.
doing one song, and then bringing up Pimp C. And then Pimp C performs, and then Kanye goes back up and has to do another song.
Got it.
It just ruins all the momentum.
It does. It does.
So all this shit is fucking happening to me.
R.I.P. to Pimsy, by the way.
I'm looking at it. I'm like having a panic attack. All right. I'm like, this is going to fucking suck. I'm not excited. Plus, you know what? These people, they're my fans.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who are here who are just like, fuck with me. I've gotten a lot of support. So I was like, fuck it. I can do this. I've done this 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Also, because of the, comedy has to be done a certain way.
Yeah.
Right? We need a dark room.
Mm-hmm.
We need like to be on us. I like to be on a higher stage.
Yeah.
And I would need people to shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
They started off with music, dancing. There was a dance party, and they told me like, "Okay, you're up." And I'm like, "What do you mean I'm up?" They're like, "Get them to stop dancing."
So everybody's like,
There's a dance floor,
yes.
and they're dancing, and they're having a great time.
Is there like a DJ?
DJ.
So
the DJ, she's cool as fuck.
Okay,
Loud ass music.
got it.
And she's just playing, and I was like, "Where do I stand? Can I get on the stage?" She's like, "There's no real room for you on the stage."
Got it.
Unless you want to stand behind the instruments in the DJ booth. I'm like, no, I don't want to be covered up when I'm fucking performing. He's like, all right, I'll just walk around. And then I was like, can you like tell them to like sit down?
Yes.
They're like, no, here, you have to just like start it. I'm like, oh.
So you were security before you were
I was
the
a fucking
presenter.
bouncer. So
Yes.
I had to be like, everybody, okay, we're starting now. Stop having fun.
Was it English or Farsi?
Fucking English. Or fucking doing this Farsi. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So literally you have to like shoo people off the fucking dance floor.
Get out of here.
Just fucking stop. Bright room. It's a fucking basketball stadium, gymnasium, whatever. Gymnasium, whatever.
Yes.
I'm not on a stage. I'm on the fucking floor.
Yes.
Bright. That's it. And people are still chattering. They don't know what the fuck comedy is, how it works.
Yes.
I start telling my first joke.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start. And I had my pop set, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
You are cleanest.
I was
possible.
having my cleanest set possible.
Yeah.
This is what I do for colleges, for corporate gigs. This is the stuff where like I don't really enjoy it,
Yes.
but it gets me paid, right? And nobody's ever offended.
Even though you're not getting
I'm
paid.
not getting
a
paid.
penny.
I'm losing money.
You're losing money.
You know, I'm my gas to get there.
Yes. And also you're in LA at this time.
I'm in the
But
Bay.
you-
I'm in the Bay.
You're in the Bay?
I'm in the Bay at this point.
Okay.
Or no, I am in LA.
You're in LA.
I am in LA, but I'm still transitioning. So
Okay,
like,
got it.
that wasn't that big of a deal.
Oh, I see.
I came back to the Bay a lot.
You had living arrangements in the Bay, so it wasn't that tough on you to go to this conference at the time.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah, I was in LA. You're right. Fucking, why do I remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was living with Joey Avery. Yeah.
Yes. So you literally went to LA right after.
Yeah, and I talked about it on that podcast. Like
You're like, I got traumatized.
yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, it's okay. So
Pop
yeah,
set.
I was doing my pop set, which is the cleanest set possible. This is not offensive. College students, the most sensitive fuckers on the entire planet, are okay with this set. Okay, these are the people who are like, we don't want to hear anything offensive. Give us the safe stuff. I gave it to them.
Yes.
I start off my first joke. All right. And this is the thing. A lot of people have come up to me since then. They don't know why I got in trouble or what happened.
Yeah.
They think it's another joke. But I'll tell. This is exactly what happened.
Let's
all right?
hear it.
I open up and I do some like stuff about like I kind of shit on short men.
Yeah.
All right, as they deserve it.
Yep.
Freaks. No. I kind of make fun of short guys.
Got it.
And then I do it. I ask the audience a question. It's like, ladies, make some noise if you prefer dating men shorter than you.
Got it.
Right? Very easy question. Usually nobody says anything. One person in this like 300 people goes, woo, right? I don't know where they're at. They're just somewhere in the ether.
Yeah.
And I just go, that's a guy. That's all I said.
Yes.
Right? And then I tell one more joke about Ramadan. It's very cute. You know?
Yes. I love that.
And while I'm doing this, I don't notice like the one that head guy, he's like doing this to me.
Got it. Is it the shaved head guy?
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say his name.
Yeah, don't say his name, but he was one of the top organizers.
He was one of the top
at the
guys.
time for that conference. I'm with you.
And he came up to me and he's like doing this from the side. I'm like, okay, maybe my time is up. Maybe I'm running it. No problem. I'll tell more jokes later. How they have it scheduled. So I get off. I bring up the fucking next musician or whatever the fuck. I think I make fun of them.
Do you think it was Ahmad? Was it?
It might have been. I might have. I don't know. I roasted everybody I brought up.
Okay, well done.
I didn't know any of them. And also, I'm a fucking comedian. I roasted what was it Big O? Was that his name?
Big OZ.
Big OZ. I roasted that guy.
Okay.
He didn't. I don't think he likes me. I brought him up because I didn't know anything about it. I was like, hey, you want me to say anything? He goes, nah, just say I'm coming from Irvine or whatever. I'm, like, I'm a rapper. I'm like, okay. Give it up for the hardest guy out of Irvine. Big OZ. And like, he just looked at me like, you fucking asshole. But it was like, it was funny to me.
I see.
But
were you kind of like, give it up for this guy who has great taste in women?
Yeah. Anyway, see you.
You did not say that.
I
Sorry.
did not say it. No,
Okay,
I
it's the
said-
hardest rapper in Irvine. That's funny.
That's funny, dude.
Who wouldn't like? Okay,
Is that? I thought that was so silly.
got it.
But anyway, so I bring up whoever, I don't know who it is,
yeah, sure.
and I sit down and I'm like, what's going on, dude? Did I run my time or something? He goes, no, dude, you can't misgender people. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, we had a whole thing with the LGBTQ, like not being treated right. You can't misgender people. And I'm like, because I said that's a guy. Like that might have been a guy. That might have been a girl. I don't know. It's like it's just a funny thing.
So because you assumed that was a guy in just like this.
Even I know it wasn't a guy.
Okay.
I said it was a guy because it's funny.
It's funny.
It's funny to be like he's defending short men because no ladies were defending short men. It's a very simple. I'm not explaining.
But your goal over there is not to be like.
This has nothing to do with
objective.
trans people.
Just be okay.
This joke has nothing to do with the trans.
It has nothing to do with trans.
in any way.
Yes.
This is just a funny thing to be like that's a guy because a guy would be defending short guys instead of a women.
Which makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's funny.
It's a lot.
Because the joke is no one fucks short guys, so only a guy would defend short guys.
Correct.
That's the whole joke.
Funny joke.
I hate that I had to explain it. So I say my thing. So he tells me this.
Yes.
And I'm just sitting there now. And I'm like, he's like, you can't misgender people. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like, misgender. Like, I didn't think it was. And then he says, he's like, okay, I'll have to go talk to some people. I'll be right back.
Sure.
And I might be misremembering this. He might have said that to me, and then I might have gone up and did another joke. I don't know if I don't remember the exact sequence now at this point.
Sure.
But I either go up and I come back down. I might have done one more joke he didn't land and whatever. But he comes back to me. He goes, okay. I spoke to some higher ups. I spoke to some people. We got to figure it out. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do when you go back up next time,
Yeah.
apologize
Wow.
for the jokes.
Damn.
And I don't know if you know anything about comedians.
Oh.
Apologies are not our fucking thing.
Apologies for jokes.
Apologies for jokes.
That is
If
tough.
I get me too, I'm apologizing. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, ladies. I did not mean to. If I tell a joke and you're okay, you know what? I'll apologize for a fucking joke.
Yes.
I'm not above apologizing for a joke.
Got it.
I cross the line sometimes and I'll say the wrong thing and I'll think back and be like, yeah, that was wrong.
For sure.
This was not one of those fucking moments.
This is not that moment.
This is the most innocuous. This is the cutest fucking thing
Yes.
to be offended. Like nobody was offended, by the way.
Yeah, they were not.
Nobody. They were just they were getting ahead of it.
Yes.
Because I think something happened with the LGBTQ or some trans people or something that are Afghan that came a year prior or whatever.
Okay, I see.
So they were overcorrect.
They were extra sensitive.
They were extra sensitive towards those people.
Got it.
So they thought me was belittling them.
Okay.
And
With that one
little thing. But also, I said something to one of them because they're like, another person came up to me and they were like, we're sorry, but like, you can't. I was like, all of my shit is on the internet.
Yes.
Do a little bit of fucking research.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you think this is offensive,
Yeah.
I am actually an offensive comedian. I'm very aware of it. I say crazy shit. I think it's funny.
Yes.
I'm not being offensive right now.
No, you're
and
not.
two, I am an offensive comedian. Like if I just did my normal act, everybody, you fucking blow your brains out.
Yes.
And then someone comes up to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so what happens? I'm sitting there. I'm texting my boy,
Yeah.
Andrew, and I'm like, they want me to apologize.
Were you in a group chat or was it just Andrew?
I think it was just Andrew.
Just Andrew.
It might have, no, it was just Andrew. Because the group chat, because I knew if I would have texted like Mark or Joey
Yes.
in the group chat, they would have told me some crazy shit. They would have been like, fucking throw the mic at somebody or fight somebody.
Nice.
Andrew Andrew is very level-headed.
Got it.
If anything, Andrew's safe. Andrew always takes a safe route. I wanted a safe opinion
Yes.
because I don't want to be,
It's kind of corporate-y setting.
Exactly. And Andrew's very good at being a clean comic. Andrew Rolfo, he's been on the pod before, good friend.
Yes.
He was the clean guy for the longest time.
Okay.
Like he's done the late nights and the TV gigs.
Yeah.
So
Great
I hit him up and I'm like, hey man, I offended people here apparently.
Yes.
They want me to apologize.
Yeah. Keep going.
Should I just walk out? Should I just do my set? Should I apologize? What should I do?
Yes.
And he's like, you know what, man? Just get that money. Don't worry, worry. Just fucking apologize and get that money. I'm like, I'm not getting paid.
Yes.
He's like, huh? I don't know then. He didn't like. We know this is like nobody knows what the fuck. If I'm getting paid, I'll suck that dick, bro.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Give me my $5,000. I'm gonna walk away. Who cares? I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and then I think I start texting the boys. Everybody.
Now it's in the
now it's the group. I'm like, what do we do? One of them's like, just say the N-word. That one's like, drop the mic and run away. Or
Yes.
one of them like, all this stuff's happening, and then someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I should name them.
You should name them.
Someone else comes out to me.
Yes.
And he goes, hey man, I heard they want you to apologize.
Yes.
Same thing happened to my brother
Yes.
in 2017.
Yes.
They were offended by his raps because he was cursing or whatever. And what we did then and what you should do now.
Pause. I want you to pause now.
Go ahead, pause.
All right. So we're going to pause now. What happened to me is I missed Dawood's set. And I see Dawood during this set. I did not see the set.
Yeah.
I text them and you're like, oh, I just went. I'm like, how did it go? You're like, horrible.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, what happened? And you're like, they want me to apologize. That's what I saw. I'm like, wait, I'm on my way. I literally walk in.
Yeah.
And then I see from afar, you're like, oh, fuck. Like, you're just like, this is not good.
I'm just defeated.
You're just like defeated.
Yeah.
And you're not really communicating. But I've never seen you with that body language. So I see you down. And I went there and I see this girl, Zakia, who was the executive director at the time.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, he said an offensive joke.
Yeah.
And
That's what he said to you?
yes, she said offensive stuff. She said he said a lot of things that people did not agree with.
Yeah.
And I think that he's gonna go apologize. Maybe you should go talk to him.
Yeah.
I think he should apologize. I don't know what decision he's made, but maybe you should convince him that he should apologize.
Yeah. That's fucking insane. I didn't hear this part.
Yeah. And she's like such a nice person.
She's very nice.
Yeah, she worked for the city at the time. And
She also reached out to me afterwards.
Okay.
It's a very nice person.
Great person, smart, mashallah. And I was like, don't worry, I'm gonna go talk to him. He's a cool guy. I know what to do in this situation. And then
You're like, damn, have a drink.
I was like, Shannon Sharp, drink this alcohol real quick. Let's get Cat Williams on him. But then I came up to you. You explained to me what happened.
Yeah.
And you were like, all right, I'm gonna go apologize.
I think so, yeah.
And that's what I'm gonna do next. And then I start by saying, you could do that.
I remember that, yeah. I remember that the way you said that. You could do that. Or and then you were like, or you could just double down. I'm like, what? You ever hear the 80-20 rule?
Yes.
And you hit me with that.
Exactly.
Which is good.
Which is the following, which is 20% of your clientele will pretty much bring 80% of your revenue.
Oh,
which is that.
I misunderstood that thing for the longest time. I've been telling you the 80-20 rule completely wrong. I thought it was like 80% of people are just going to fucking hate you. All you need is that 20% to love you. That's what I've been telling everyone is 80-20.
No, I don't know. Maybe that's correct too. But like what it is 20% of your clientele will pay you 80% of the money that comes in within the year. So I said, with that concept in mind, 80% of these people could say, fuck Dawood.
Okay, so that is kind of
what I transitioned into. But I was using it incorrectly as well. And I was like, this, and I'm like, but the 20% of here is gonna like be like love you and fuck with you even more for being that guy.
Exactly.
That's what I told you. And
then you were like, he's like, you should just say something super offensive. Like do like your craziest thing.
Yes.
And I'm just like, all right. I start thinking of all my offensive jokes.
Yes.
And I have a lot. You know, I have a lot of different jokes, but it's like, how do I do this? Because I didn't want to just go up there and just like just start saying offensive jokes, like just rattling them off, you know?
Yes.
So I was like, all right, how do I make it seem? I was like, okay, I end my sets a lot of times kind of fake apologizing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I do an offensive joke.
Yeah.
So If you've seen me before, you saw my album. I don't care about this joke anymore. But a lot of times I apologize and then I do this joke. So I went up there, I was like, all right. In my mind, I was like, all right, I'm just trying to pretend to apologize.
Yeah.
And then hit them with my most offensive joke.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I go
I
up.
want to pause that.
Yeah.
All right. So you're like, you've made the decision now.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna do this, and you're like thinking, like,
Yeah, I'm processing how to like say it. Because I could have just gone up there and did the joke.
exactly.
That would have it would have still hit, but it's just like, comedy's about misdirection.
Misdirection.
Yeah.
But at the time while this is happening, I think where I was like, yo, chill on a second. We need to document this.
You got to document. I remember that.
So I went to a few people, and I want to shout out Sohel.
So Hill was one, and there's another
Also-
guy named Chicken Kebab.
Chicken kebab. All right.
I went up to him, was like, pull out your camera.
Oh.
He's like, what? I'm like, just pull out your camera. He's like,
Yeah.
well, just pull out your camera. Okay.
Yes.
So that's shout out to that guy. I think also that guy is running it next year.
He is. He's very involved in that process. Yeah. He's actually following the podcast. So shout out.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Chicken Kebab, dude.
Chicken
Shout out.
kebab guy. His face not so much, but he's a great guy.
I don't know. Okay, whatever. But so
Now people check
I tell them to film too. So
Okay, awesome. So there's some other guy named Ray. His footage was garbage, so we never
Okay.
used it. But thanks to Ray as well. Shout out Ray
Yeah,
from
we appreciate
Canada,
the effort.
who lives in Miami now.
okay.
Okay, cool. So you got these people in place,
Yeah.
and you're about to go in.
Yeah. And then I go up and I just start apologizing. Hey, apparently the
Comments I made earlier.
association here told me that I've offended a few of you guys.
Yes.
Some of the jokes I made earlier, it's not my intention. I don't want to offend anybody. You know what? I am a feminist.
Yes.
I consider myself a feminist. I'm on the right side. Ever since COVID, I've been donating to foundations that help women.
Yes.
And everybody's like I see like the head, the bald guy, whatever. They're like,
People like, yeah.
they're like, not like a hard clap, but like a,
But
like,
wow. Congratulations.
nice, good. And then I'm like, yeah, it's called OnlyFans. And then everybody just fucking loses their shit. And I see that guy, and he's just like, his hands are like this, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yes.
And there's footage of this.
Yes.
Like it's out there. I posted it.
There is.
And then I get back, and the guy's like, "Just don't tell me jokes, please.
Mhm.
Just stop. Just don't no more jokes.
Facts.
Like just bring up people." I was like, "Oh, like we fucking agreed on to begin with. I'll do that." Yeah. So I brought up a few people, and then I left early. But and then I made a video
Yeah.
explaining this entire situation.
Yes.
And it got like 500,000 views on TikTok.
Well done.
And it's out there, so if you want to watch it.
Yeah. People can find that video.
So I think I've kind of hurt the reputation with that. 'Cause I never named them in the video.
Oh, you just said an organization.
I just did an organization
Okay. Now you.
that I did for free.
Yes.
And I have no ill will towards these people. I
Also
think,
good.
I think there's a lot of good intentions there. I just think, it's easier said than done.
It is.
Yeah.
It definitely is. What if I could say? By the way, thank you for telling that full story.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty good. Pretty great story.
It's pretty crazy that like we both have a similar origin story. Like you and your brother
Yes.
and me.
Yes.
And yeah, because if you being there, you've already went through this.
Yes.
So it was a perfect thing for it to happen to
These
me.
moments
Yeah.
is when I thrive.
Oh, dude, it was because like I was now I know better, but like I was still. I wanted people to be happy by it. I don't want to offend people. I hate comedians who are just like trying to hurt people's. I want people to have fun more than anything.
Yes.
So I was like, all right, maybe I will apologize. Maybe I'll just fucking take this L. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hurt people's feelings.
Exactly.
But then you said that, I was like, oh, my comedian side is like, you have to double down. That's the funniest thing you could do.
Exactly.
So
And I specifically, I think I talked to your right ear. That's why you listen to me.
my right ear.
Yes.
Why? What? I don't get that reference.
Because like apparently
Is
like
that where the devil is or something?
no, that's where the angel is.
Oh,
and
okay.
The
Devil's on the left.
devil is on the left, and then like all your good deeds are written on there's like one angel that's writing all your good deeds on the right side, and the left side is the bad. So
That's why people hate left-handed people, huh?
Yeah, it's left good. This have bad reps.
Fucking right. The devil's writing all their shit.
I guess so. I guess
Goddamn.
they know math and they're artistic.
Yeah.
Most of them. But so when I saw
All scientists.
there's physicists,
Anyway,
engineers,
yeah, go ahead.
ideas. But when I think when I saw you originally, like I found you on TikTok and I was like, yo, this dude. I'm like, this guy's funny. I saw this joke or whatever, but I'm like, oh, he just has one funny joke, so I just ignored it. Did not see that.
Yeah.
Then the algorithm started feeding me all your shit,
Yeah.
and I saw your Ramadan joke. I'm like, hilarious.
Thank you.
Then I went to his other shit. I'm like, I gotta follow this guy. And then you followed me back.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I have like 1,000 or a couple hundred followers on TikTok. 'Cause I found you on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
But you followed me back.
Well, I looked at you. I was like, I don't know, this guy's nobody follows, whatever.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, he's Afghans, interesting. And then I clicked. I think you had your Instagram tied to it.
I did have.
I went to your Instagram. I looked at it a little more. Saw that you had your brother as your manager. I was like, okay,
Yes.
good networking. Follow this guy.
Okay.
So it wasn't just like I enjoyed your content. Sorry.
Dang it. It's
It was
fine.
more.
I had no
It was
concept.
more who you were associated with.
Yeah, I was shit posting. It was there was no structure to it. I don't even think I was doing Afghan content like that, to be honest.
Fair
But it was just shit posting stuff. And then yes, everybody knew me as Crescent's manager, and that's what I am. That's what I was at that time as well.
Sure.
So okay, that's dope. And you really fuck with that Crescent song, Bad Mosh.
Bad Mosh. I fucking love that song.
Dope.
That was like, that's how I discovered. I don't know how I discovered him.
Was it on TikTok or YouTube or?
I think it was YouTube.
Okay.
I think I was periodically searching Afghan rappers.
Oh shit.
Like every 2 years, I just Google Afghan rappers
who do they got?
just to see something
Mm-hmm.
because it's almost always bad.
Yes. Yes.
It truly is for the longest time. Now it's starting to get like your brother and then like Halas guy or whatever.
Halas
And
is pretty
ALT. Like it's like
TL.
this generation finally figured out how to rap.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But like
The newer generation.
people my age and older, like
It's a tough game.
they're either too Afghan. That's what it is. There were too Afghan in their raps, where they just had accents and shit.
That sucks.
Yeah, I was like,
That's not the good music. But the reason I say this is because I saw you and I was like so excited to see you as killing shit. And when I found out you were going to our conferences with DM, I was like, oh shit, this banquet is gonna be dope.
yeah,
Because you're a part of it.
for sure.
And I miss your set, obviously.
Well, also I reached out to your brother.
Oh, you did.
As soon as I heard that song, I followed him. Like, dude, this is amazing. Keep it up.
Oh.
And then he hit a Canadian number, so he texted me on that. I was like, I'm not gonna talk to this guy.
Okay, got it.
I'm not fucking.
I
I'm not using WhatsApp.
I see it.
You know. But he was like, yeah, man. If you ever, I was like, this is cool, but I'm not. I don't want.
And I didn't know about that interaction, by the way.
Yeah. I talked to him before I talked to you.
Okay, sick. So you kind of knew.
Very, very like he was very got him. He was very, very nice to me.
Yeah.
So
Got him? Is that what you said?
got him.
That's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
You
He's
throw
very,
that in there.
Very warm.
Nice. So cool. When I found that out, and then the way that the conference like handled your situation,
Yeah.
I had no choice.
You had to.
I had
You
to.
get flashbacks, dude.
I was asking
It's PTSD
because I didn't hear you for the full story. I heard it from Zach. Yeah, no offense to her, but when she told me all that, I was like, okay. I knew then what I was gonna tell you based on what Zach had told me, and I was like, I'm gonna tell this guy to double down and say the most offensive thing he's got.
Yeah.
And that's all gonna work out. And I didn't know if you were gonna be game, so that's why I said it. And you were like, "Let me think about this," and then you're like, "I'm game."
Yeah.
You did it. So I think.
Yeah, I needed a second. I don't think I was ready. I don't think because it's scary.
Yeah.
It's a scary thing to double down in front of people because I didn't know that everybody was. I thought everybody was mad at me. I thought the entire audience was mad at me.
Yeah.
It didn't seem that way,
Mhm.
but the way the guy like made it sound like everybody's mad.
Yes.
You crossed the line.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay. And like, if that would happen to me earlier in my career,
Yes.
I would double down immediately.
Okay.
I've doubled down 1,000 times.
Got you.
But you do enough corporate gigs and stuff,
Mhm.
and it's still. I wasn't getting paid. Was the biggest thing.
That was shitty.
So if I was getting paid, like, because for colleges, I have apologized once or twice. My manager's like, hey, just send him a fucking bullshit email saying like, you didn't. This is what you meant.
Yep.
And it'll be fine. So
And you're getting paid, so that makes
exactly, dude. Like,
it's the ring. I get it.
yeah, dude. You gotta. I'm not in a place to fucking say whatever I want whenever I want when I need money. You know.
It's facts.
But I wasn't getting paid.
Yeah.
So I was like, it took me a second, but I was like, why am I not? Fuck these people. You know.
Yes.
That's all. That's a future reference. If you're getting a comedian,
Yes.
and you're paying him as insurance not to fuck up your event,
Mm-hmm.
because he can easily turn.
Facts.
So you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. The
Give him
more
a lot
money
of
you give
power.
him,
Yes.
the more likely he'll do exactly what you want.
Facts.
So fucking pay your artists.
Pay your artist.
Yeah, and they'll give you the show that you want.
And it's
And I tried to give the show that they wanted.
You-
I wasn't trying to be offensive.
You were not.
And then but a lot of people come to me like, dude, that OnlyFans joke offended them. I was like, no, dude, that was the joke I said because they were offended at something else.
Yes.
So
Yeah, people didn't know, but the thing is, like the day after and like all throughout the
I got so many DMs
Yeah.
the next day, like, we're on your side.
Yeah.
That's crazy they fucked you. And when people came up to me, was like, this is bullshit. You're a comedian. It's a lot of like, you're a comedian. You should be able to say what you want because like they didn't think anything I said was offensive.
Gotcha.
I've done shows where people are like, you're a comedian, you should say what you want. And they're like, okay, not that.
Yeah.
Everybody has a line. But
They have a line. And yeah, actually the exact same thing happened to Crescent. So he got way more Afghan followers. He actually got Afghan followers because it's all non-Afghan.
Yeah.
And then like people were like supporting him. Like we would find people sending us clips of rapping a song and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like Irvine or DC, like, yo, I love this song. And none of that shit happened.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for that moment that they
When did
performed
Bad
it.
Mosh come out?
Bad Mosh came out in 2021.
Okay. That's
So that came way after.
Yeah,
Once
yeah.
we had an audience and we were like,
Yeah.
what can we do?
Yeah, no, I had that song on repeat literally for a long time.
You can't find it.
Because of the samples. The samples also the reason I
The
love
sample is the reason.
that's such a fucking sick sample.
Yeah. The sample was sick, and like, well, the thing is, like, I was when I got into the Afghan world, and I'm like, let me just get invested, and I was talking to people, I'm like, what are the songs people like and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then when I found that out, I'm like, yo, Crescent, this we're gonna.
Bro, it hits like such a nostalgic. It hits like a part of my brain that I need to know I need it scratched. You know, it hits like childhood with like hip hop, and then his rapping is fire on it too. It's not corny or anything.
Yeah, he's a good rapper, and that's
For
the thing
sure.
about you, because you had a non-Afghan audience,
Yeah.
and this was new to you. Crescent had a non-Afghan audience too, so when he went to that setting,
Yeah.
that's why he was like, I'll do the pop stuff, because I don't know what they would like.
Exactly. Yeah. We try to do the pop stuff.
Yeah.
Man, you know, but
Try to do the pop stuff, and
try to
it
do
did
the
not
pop
work.
but then we went this year.
Okay, thank you. So now I want you to talk about the second time you went,
This time. Yeah.
this time. And how was your experience? Because this time they called you and they said, we want you to speak on the arts panel.
Yeah.
So this is 2024 in San Diego.
San Diego.
And you went there and
So I live in LA. So again, not the craziest commute.
Yeah.
Again, pretty convenient.
yes.
But they reach out, not like the head of the place, but like this lady reaches out. She's the head of the arts panel this year. And I went to the arts panel when I was there and I enjoyed it.
Oh, yes.
You were there.
I was there.
They didn't talk about anything, by the way.
They did not.
It was fucking hilarious. They argued about the kite runner for an hour, which is the funniest fucking thing ever.
The funniest moment of that conference. Actually, that was probably funnier.
That was funnier than my set, because it's just like these. I think it was like this Afghan guy. I think it was Diz, who was talking about how the kite runners are like set Afghans back so much and how
Yes.
it's bullshit.
Because the characters were so one-dimensional.
I think he also used it as like he said it was justification for George Bush to invade Afghanistan because of like what's happening.
Sure.
And then these Afghan ladies straight from Afghanistan were like, "This is actually what's happening out there.
Yes.
This is the truth."
Yes.
And that was just people from Afghanistan arguing with American Afghans about the kite runner being offensive, and then some of them being like, "No, it's accurate." And that was the entire session. So when I heard I'm gonna be part of that, I was like, I'm ready to bring the kite runner up again. I'm gonna bring it up immediately. But I got invited, and I was like, I hit up my boys, and I was like, they want me back to like speak, not perform. And they're like, fuck them.
Yes.
Tell them to suck a dick. And I'm like, I want to help the Afghans out. Whatever. And it's not that way out of my way. I want to help Afghans. I like helping Afghans. I like it. I was like, can you pay me money this time? Anything to make it worth my time.
And what did they say?
They're like, no, we have no money in the budget. And I'm like,
What did they say, though?
I don't remember.
They said, can you pay us?
They didn't say that.
They said,
Oh, yes. Okay, so you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I just remembered I did pay for that whole experience for me to happen. I paid for that.
for that compare? Oh, and for Davis, you paid.
Yes,
Oh,
I paid for Davis because I submitted. It's an application. What does it cost? $200, $300,
$200.
$200.
180 or something?
Yes, 180. Yep. So to be a part of this, you have to submit an application. You have to pay $200.
Sure. Yes.
They hit me up. They're like, we can't pay you. And they were like, here's the link to submit. I'm like, it says I have to pay.
Yes.
And they're like, well, if you want to come to all of it, you have to pay. And I'm like,
Wild thing to ask someone, hey, could you come here? Also, you're not getting paid, but can you pay us?
yeah. And I was like, I don't want, what? And they're like-
Why?
I'm like, and they're like, can you give me a hotel? Like, I was like, I'm trying to work with you fuckers,
That
dude.
is a fact.
Can you give me a hotel room? Make it so I can sleep out there.
Yes.
They're like, no. They're like, we can't get you a hotel room. We can't pay you. And you have to pay if you want to come to all 3 days.
Yeah.
I was like, what if I just come to my session?
Yes.
All right. I speak my thing. I can just hang out that day.
Got it.
Like, we'll make that free for you.
Dope.
I was like, okay, I will do that. And I tell my friends and everybody shits on me.
Yes.
My cousins are like, what are you doing? Like, why do you, It's like going back to a girl who broke your heart. You know, it's like they're looking out for
Why are
me.
you going? Why are you baby reindeering?
Why are you baby reindeering yourself, dudes? You know, so all that happens, and then you have the great idea,
Yes.
to come down.
I said, bro, let me support you.
Come through.
I'm gonna come to your session only, just to your. It's like an hour, 45 minutes or something. I'm gonna come down there.
You're pure podcast.
Yeah.
We're known for the
We're
podcast.
known for that. At the same time, though, there are a lot of people in the organization do know me from
You've been a part of it for a long time.
since 2017.
Yeah.
Think about it. I've also volunteered for 3
Volunteer,
years.
you're a cohort lead, like you're a big part of the organization.
I did the COVID version, which is all online, and I
Yeah.
was a cohort lead through all that process.
Yes.
Um,
Very helpful. So,
I think so, but I guess I was.
so we get there. This is on us, though. I will say this part is on us. We get there. I get my badge.
All right.
We don't just try to go to our session. We try to
Initially,
You wanted to go to like the women and whatever.
I just said let's go to a session, and we
Yeah,
saw a
and there's
session
one
like
that's like
women,
women in jobs or whatever.
entrepreneurship.
Exactly. Which who gives a shit about that? We just wanted to be in a session. Yeah, it's like to learn about shit. And we go there. I give you my badge.
Yes, you did.
I was like, everybody knows who I am, so I
Yeah.
give you my badge.
Might as well.
And we go, and this lady just stops us.
Yeah.
Hard, and she's like, "Where's your badge?" I don't have a badge.
Yes.
He has a badge. Let him go. And
Yeah.
and then she's like, "You need both badges if you want to get them." Like, come on, it's me. I have a cup. You know.
Yes,
And
exactly.
they're like, "No." So we just like, fuck it. We walk out, and then we're kind of just like lingering. And then,
Well, afterwards, I get a message from my friend said, "Oh, we're setting up the music."
oh,
program."
okay, yeah,
And
yeah,
I said, "Hey, instead of just like chilling here until your session, because we found out that okay, they're actually super strict. They're checking the badges before every session.
yeah.
So let's scratch that idea.
Yeah.
Let's just go to your session.
Mhm.
But for the time being, my friend hit us up in the auditorium.
Yeah,
And we were like, that's where the registration is. I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm not attending this. I get it.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna go there. And the moment I walk in, Diz is there. And he's like,
E2 Brute.
Yeah.
E2. You
yeah,
know what that means?
no.
No, it's E2 Brutus. It's Caesar's last words before Brutus betrayed him and stabbed him.
Oh,
So anyway, continue.
what does that mean?
E2 Brute.
Does that mean I've been slain?
E2 and you Brute and you.
And you?
Like, so what happened, Caesar, in his last moments?
Yes.
Everybody was killing him.
Mhm.
This is, I don't know if this is a legitimate or just a story,
Sure.
a Shakespearean story of
Got it.
Caesar. Everybody's like stabbing him, right? And he's like fighting them all off. He's like trying to fight.
Yes.
And then Brutus, his like closest homie,
Yeah.
shows up with a knife
Yeah.
and he sees him.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "You too, bro? You too?" And then he just kind of like gives up. He's like, I guess it is what it is. Everybody wants to kill me, even my closest friend. And then Brutus stabs him as well.
God.
So E2 Brute is like a,
I always thought it was Brutus that just killed him in real life, and he's got stabbed 23 times. That's
probably what happened, but I'm talking about the Shakespearean
The
play
Shakespeare-
of Caesar. Everybody stabbed him and Brutus was the last one.
You're a fucking smart ass guy.
No, it's like
great-
pop culture.
that's a-
right,
that's-
stuff.
that's-
E2 Brute is a very common saying. You
Okay.
betrayed.
Well done.
Okay.
Well done. Good. Yes, I was betrayed by Diz. All right, by
Yeah.
another Afghan guy,
Someone on the pod we've had before.
an Awjiz guest.
An Awjiz guest.
So, but he
Banned from the Awjiz guests table, by the way.
yes, banned for life,
I guess we're I'm pretty easy going.
Yeah.
Make sure we can get him back on.
unless he says,
Unless he gets his
"Don't ban me," and then I said,
Then it's like, okay.
"Okay, sure."
Because that's what homies do.
That's what homies do. I'll be like, "Yeah, sure, I'll let you in."
Like, it's not a big deal. Yeah, come on.
But the moment I came in, he's like, "You're not going to." I'm like, "Dude, I'm here," and he's like, "Why are you here? You shouldn't be here." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm just going to his session." "No, you're not." And I'm like, "Bruh, don't do this."
Yeah.
We don't need to go into the details of what happened afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
They pretty much were like,
The
Yeah.
details are hilarious.
"Thank you."
You Nathan Fieldered
you
those
so much.
situations. You didn't let it go.
Well, as long
You
as
didn't get loud or anything, but you were just, you trolled.
I was very calm.
You were scary calm.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, it was hilarious. I laughed a lot.
Thank
It
you
was
so
everybody uncomfortable.
That's all that mattered. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, it's here. Can I make
like-
him laugh?"
I threatened to walk.
Yes.
I took it back immediately.
Yes. Can I walk? And then never mind. Never mind.
Well, I was like, I'll walk, and they're like, well, I'd rather have you do that.
Yeah,
and then
you said
you were
that.
like, just don't.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. We came all this way anyways, right?
Okay.
So, but whatever the case was, they're cool guys. The fact that I didn't go to a session, they didn't get me in to just go to your session
Didn't
was
let it
it
up.
was shitty. But at the same time, I understand. I get it completely. I was just trolling because I'm like whatever. But tell me how the art session went.
It actually went very. It's also one thing I will say. It's kind of sad. No dudes. A very few dudes.
Damn.
Mostly all ladies. And if you think about it, on TikTok, Instagram, so I feel like the ladies are pushing
They are.
significantly harder on like social media and the arts and all this stuff now. compared to the men.
Yeah, they are.
I think they're like the ones driving.
They're being content. There's some men,
Obviously there's some men.
but
There's
I
exceptions,
feel
but
like there's more women.
Yeah, it could also be like that setting of AAC maybe has more women.
They do have more women.
So
They have like
the-
67% more women usually.
So it could be that, but it was just mostly women. I didn't see a lot of dudes in there. There was like maybe 2 or 3 dudes,
Okay.
but it was mostly ladies. Everybody, it was great. All the questions are fun. I felt a lot. Very easy audience. They laughed at everything I said.
Well done. Nice.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm gonna crush here. So
Yes.
I turned it on. It was funny seeing some of my cohorts have the same nervous tics I have when I'm on stage. Because I was watching, there's a guy sitting, I'm not gonna say his name, but one of the guys who was sitting next to me,
Yes.
he kept like, you could tell he was nervous every time he
So-
spoke. I don't want to give it away because it's the thing.
You do that too?
It's my same nervous tick,
Okay, got it.
but it's like he was doing the exact same thing I was doing. That's like interesting.
Cool.
But he got comfortable eventually.
Did anybody do the nervous laugh?
Nobody did a nervous laugh.
Okay.
But like, it was cool because I'm not trying to shit on like the people I was with.
Yeah.
I admire all of them. They all have like done legitimate things, whereas like, but I have the most name or most clout, I guess.
Yes.
So like, I didn't want to steal the show, but it was kind of like
But can you help it?
I was kind of I couldn't help it.
You couldn't help
I couldn't help. I'm charming.
Because you're that guy.
I got Riz.
You're that guy.
And
you riz the audience.
yeah, I Riz the audience.
You riz the fuck out of that audience.
So it was fun, very easy. Just talked about art. I love talking about art and comedy, so it was easy.
It's your life.
The questions were easy. We did have a detractor though. One of the 4 guys that was in there,
Yes.
raised his hand and was like, "Hey man, I think you're really funny. Listen to your podcast, but you crossed the line one time, and I don't really appreciate what you said." And everybody goes, "Ooh."
You're like, oh, that time that we kind of supported the Talibs? Like, no, we like that part.
Yeah,
That one was okay.
Well, then I went on a whole rant about like I fuck your sensibilities,
Sure.
in a kinder way.
But he was offended about what?
And well, before I get to it, I say this also. I'm like, I can't cater to everybody's sensibilities. I've gotten a lot of flack for this podcast because I'm like chill to the gays, right? I'm like nice to gay people, and people hate that.
Yeah.
And what am I gonna do? Not be nice to the gays because it upsets some people?
Exactly.
I said those exact words, and then I was like, "What joke?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to say the joke right now." And I'm like, I kind of want to hear it. And they're like, no, it's not appropriate. I was like, okay, we'll talk about it later.
Yes.
And so everybody was on my side in there too. But after the thing, he comes up to me. I talked to him. I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. What was the joke, my guy?" And he goes, "Yeah, it was when you called you and your guests. You were talking about Rumi and how Shams is gay."
Yeah.
And I was like, first of all, I didn't say Rumi or Shams is gay or anything. I was defending.
Yeah.
I was on the opposite side of that argument.
You were.
I was like, just because a guy sucks a dick doesn't make he's gay. That was, just because you write 1,000 letters to another dude doesn't make him gay. I was giving the benefit.
Yes, you were.
And he was just like, Shams is a holy man. It's very disrespectful. And I was like, yeah, man, that's the difference. Like, I make fun of me.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want. I don't care. Make fun of my mother. Who gives a shit? And he's like, no, it's crossing the line. I was like, hey, man, I'm glad you told me. I'm gonna tell you, like, I don't mean to offend you, but that's we have different sensibilities. I can't figure out your line. He was very chill after that.
Dope.
It was interesting to hear someone be offended by something I didn't say on the podcast.
Yeah. Because you're the face.
I'm the fucking face.
You're the fucking face.
I'm the fucking. I get it. I get all of it.
It's okay.
Um,
Was there any comedy questions? Any
Nobody
aspiring
in
comedians?
there wanted to be a comedian.
Rightfully so.
Everybody in there they wanted like content creators
Okay.
and artists and like musicians, but nobody asked about like acting or comedy or writing. It was all social media kind of stuff.
Okay.
So
But you know that shit too.
I to some extent, yeah, I know it, but like I
see.
don't know how to study. Everything I've learned on social media is just by accident.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
And like, you don't have to name names, but the people that were in the panel with you, do you think they provided value to the audience?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think they were very in their fields.
Yes.
Because they were all very different. There's a journalist, there's a musician, and then there's a guy who's like behind the scenes, like production. He's like a FX dude. And I looked up their work, and I was like, okay, these guys are all legit. And then when they spoke,
Yes.
I agreed with everything, and I learned a whole bunch of shit from them, just even for me.
Awesome.
So the panel was good, I think. I really liked the people I was around. If anything, it was good networking for me. It was like,
Oh,
it was
okay.
one of the guys, he lives like not that far from me, and he's a director too and shit, and he's done some shit that I've enjoyed some of his work.
Awesome.
So It was good. So I'm glad it worked out. That part was good. And there was an after party that was fun.
Yeah, the after parties are always fun. Yeah, it's always lit. But the arts panel was dope.
Arts panel was dope.
Do you think our Afghan-American Conference should continue having the arts panel?
I think it's the most necessary panel.
Thank you.
Obviously.
But I think it's very important.
Yeah, H did the panel.
He did do the panel.
17? Or different year?
He did it in
He went back.
2019.
Okay, so he went back to it.
And 2019, I did a panel.
Oh.
Yes.
Which panel? Art?
I did a marketing panel.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I did
DoorDash panel? This is how you get extra tip.
It was the most booked one. It's all guys.
All the guys, standing room only.
That 30% that showed up there.
All the dings go off at the same time. Everybody leaves.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta go pick up an order.
So the thing is, actually, it was booked, and there's so many people that they actually kicked some people out in there.
We didn't kick anybody out, but every seat was taken. In ours too.
But it could be, but that's because of you, because you had cloud and stuff. But this was not because of me.
Yeah.
Because there was another person who was coming to the marketing panel. Her name is Hawa, and she worked at.
You really go hard on that H.
I do.
I think it's just Awa.
Dude, it's Hawa.
I think it's Awa.
Hawa.
Okay, whatever.
Wait. Hawa.
Awa.
Anyway, she lives in the Bay now, or she was always from the Bay. But she was in New York, and she worked at I want to say it's Viacom.
Okay.
Viacom. So she was working at Viacom.
Oh shit.
And like
legit?
Yeah, she's legit. So she was like a creative director, I believe.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, yeah, for sure. We want to. So I think a lot of people mainly cared about her. So I'm not gonna ask you if they came because of me or something.
For sure. Yeah.
So
I don't think they came for me. Most people didn't even know I was gonna be there until like. I think once they saw the scheduling thing, and then they saw me, and then it kind of happened. But a lot of people were like, "What the fuck? What's this guy doing here?"
They didn't really promote you as
they did
much
not
as
promote
they
it.
should have.
They didn't. Then it wasn't on any pages.
Yes.
Right? They posted. I saw their little Instagram flyers.
Yeah.
I wasn't on a single one.
That's an interesting take. That's an interesting.
I think they're. I'd be a little upset. I think the person who invited me probably asked, but like it wasn't like from the higher up suggestion. You know what I'm saying?
Well, good to know.
I'm a curveball, dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a curveball. I'm a wild card.
Knuckleball.
A wild card.
Okay, wild card.
Wild card.
Wild card.
I don't know what I'm not even a wild. I'm such a just person.
For the Afghans, though.
I'm so even honestly, bro. I'm very professional.
You're professional, but you're still a comic, and they don't know comedy.
Yeah, that's fair.
They don't know American comedy, so they're throwing that off.
Yeah.
So, but let me tell you a little bit about my experience.
Yeah.
So when I was in 2019 and I went there, Hawa calls me the day before, I believe, sends me a long ass voice note. I may still have it actually.
Nice.
She starts off with, "Hey, I love you," because she's a nice person.
Okay.
I love that you're doing this. Thank you, but unfortunately, I'm not able to make it.
Oh,
So
sure.
I need you to do the full thing. And she was going to talk about branding. I was going to talk about digital marketing.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking about the whole thing.
Holy shit.
And
Yeah.
I'm leading the session.
Yeah.
So I'm scrambling to finish this whole thing. The day of, like, let's say my session is at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
From the morning till that, I'm not going to any class. I'm just fucking doing the presentation, making a PowerPoint and everything, testing it out.
Yeah.
And I'm also like nervous. I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm like, who's gonna be there?
You're always in there.
And
And then
packed.
everybody.
Packed. Everyone's there. There's a lot of girls that are actually influencers there.
Mhm.
All right. There was the sister of somebody who came on this podcast who decided no longer to
That's
have
fun.
an episode.
Yeah, the
come out.
people I had. Yeah, I had people in the audience that have significantly bigger followers than me.
Yes.
So they should have been up here. What are you guys doing? But again, it wasn't like a social media thing. It was an arts thing.
Listen,
I'm an artist,
yes.
and I can speak on art. Not
You can
necessarily-
speak on art probably better than they can because they don't know why they even got those followers.
Fair
It could be just something blew up. And for me, I thought that I should be in the arts panel. That's what I wanted to go because what I was like, there's never a business guy in the arts panel.
That's
Why
fair.
can't we have a business question and stuff?
Yeah.
I always go to every year arts panel and no one ever answers the business questions
Yeah.
because that would help. Anyway, so I went there.
100%.
I went to the digital marketing one and it went well. It went
Nice.
well. People liked it. I started off with a joke. Do you want to know what the joke was?
Go ahead.
So I did some digital like I work in digital advertising, I work in SEO. So I found out that there's competitor analysis websites. What you can do is this, you take the link of a website and you say, what are the top competitors? Google AdWords has this thing called Auction Insights where your competitors are there. But for organic, you just use a website such as SpyFu, SEMrush, whatever the case is. This is just a nerdy thing, but you would like this. So
I took Afghan-American Conference and I put it there, and then I saw that the top competitor website was like
Nice.
Muslim dating.
Oh,
All like Minder and all these other dating.
AACO, from what I've heard, is a place for Afghans to meet their husbands or wives. That's kind of like what the vibe is, what I'm learning.
It's the running joke.
That's the running joke.
And it's
Because
pretty,
crazy, because I'm there to be an artist,
yes.
and everybody's trying to fuck. I was like, what is?
I was trying to fuck you.
Oh, Matt, okay, relax. But
Relax. I don't, not that you're wrong, but just relax. Just relax.
Calm down.
So I was like, all right. Cool. Let me show that data. That's a way of breaking the ice. So I started off there and I'm like, hey, this is who your competitors are. And then I'm like, you guys are thinking that you're here for business. That's cap. I have the data to prove otherwise.
Okay, that's funny.
When I said that, it kind of like,
Yeah, it's fun.
it did well.
fun.
And then I'm like, all right, now I can go in there, show them exact examples of why you should think outside of the box, use case studies that I was a part of and other campaigns that I like. People liked it. People loved it. The criticism I got is that I went too technical. I went too technical sometimes and I was too focused on that. And for a short session, it wasn't enough time for people to pick it up.
I see.
But after that, then people were like, oh, you're the digital marketing guy. Wow, thank you so much. People came and started talking to me and everything. And that was a good experience. And then no one really, after that time, no one knew me as the marketing guy anymore. They were just like, we don't know what he does. He went back to being the manager.
Order.
And we're going to take a quick little break. Okay, so we didn't really take a break. We just had to quickly stop because of the whole just running for a long time and our batteries down.
We have one camera.
But yeah, we have only one camera. We'll talk about it in the description why that's the case. But long story short is that people stop associating me with being the marketing guy. And they're like, you went back to being a manager. And then when I started the podcast, they're just like, this guy does Uber Eats or DoorDash and he just does this podcast, which I would love to make this my full-time thing, but you guys need to support our Patreon. So please, if you're watching this and you want to help more, you're like, I love this, I want to see more of this, pay us money so we can keep doing this for you guys. We want to be as consistent as possible.
Yeah, don't be like AACO and make us work for free.
Yes. Can I finish this? I'm going to finish this. As a marketer guy, as somebody who's worked in different fields in entertainment, and I worked in corporate fields of like real estate, all these other things, traveling, international affairs, as far as exchange is concerned, AAC is in a position to make so much money and they're able to get sponsors from all these people. Who is your business guy? Who is your marketing guy?
Wait, how do they make money? It's just from submissions?
Submissions. That's all.
They have no sponsors?
They do have sponsors. They have
Okay.
sponsors time to time. But what they could do is they could make the conference bigger.
Mhm.
They could allow more people to come in. That's one. And second, they could offer more opportunities for people to be sponsored. So for instance, like, I don't know if you've heard, like, like award shows and shit like that. Why can't AAC have like an award element to it? And they're like, in each
Dude, knowing them, bro, an award is like, it's probably makes people uncomfortable or some shit. You know?
oh, like the gayest guy
No.
award? Like what?
No, like it's like they're from the participation trophy era of human beings. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So they're like, if you give an award, it's kind of like discrimination against every other person that did
No,
an
this is
award.
how you can do it. I'll tell you this how you can do it. You can make Afghans happy. You are a nonprofit. Why don't you co-sign the other nonprofits that we should give money to? And that's where the award goes, the charity of the year. So now other Afghans are like, this is not a scam. Actually provide a service. And while you do that process, there's a sponsorship. People are like, I'll sponsor that award. I'll sponsor this. Have newsletters that are more active to a larger base and then provide people, hey, we can put your thing in this newsletter and make money off that. People are like, I don't know. I don't want to do this shit. It's okay. We want to keep it like this. It's like, dude, if you have demand and you're turning people away, that means you don't know how to monetize this properly. I'm not the best business person. I'm not the best finance person, but those people exist within the community and
sure.
exist within the AAC. So my only criticism to AAC is, hey guys, get your money up, make more money, and then pay the artists. All the artists that are going up there, it seems like everyone I talk to, like, yeah, we got a couple $100 at most.
Well, all the artists accept it.
they accept it.
This is the problem too. So it's like,
Because artists are poor.
yeah, dude, we're poor. We want to, we do a lot for exposure. So,
You're like, sure, I'll do it, and that's kind of taking
but you're gonna get the shittier artists. To be honest, when they got H, he wasn't at the top of his game.
He was not.
Yeah,
He was coming up.
neither was I. You know, you got me at the bargain bin.
You're like, I don't know where this is going. And it's also kind of still, COVID was still around, right?
Yeah, I was still right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, COVID's still around. So now,
2022, yeah.
2022, COVID was still a thing. But I'm done criticizing AAC. I think it's beautiful. I love the people there. Obviously, you're gonna find some people that are like lame there, but that's just wherever.
I made a lot of good friends.
I made a lot of great
I
friends.
met this fucking guy pretty much because of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're,
and we're kind of cool, right? We kind of like each other.
No, this is just professional. There's no friendship outside.
Professional
We're
relationship.
like Robin Big.
Wait, really? They were never
You
friends.
didn't know that?
I did not.
Just break your brain. They weren't even homies outside of the show.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn it. I thought you were gonna
Who's
use
Robin? Who's Big?
the guy from Ridiculousness.
No,
right?
but who's who? Because like I'm taller clearly, but you're darker.
Oh, I wasn't gonna use that example. I was gonna use Sam and Dean from Supernatural. Do you watch
I
Supernatural?
don't watch Supernatural, but I like can it be what's his name? Jason Nichols? Well, no, Jonathan Nichols.
The guy who's Soldier Boy
Yeah.
on The Voice.
What's his real name? Something Nichols.
I don't know his real name,
Okay,
but
those guys.
I think I don't know. I
I
don't.
never watched Supernatural. Is it good?
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It isn't.
Yeah.
They're kind of stupid.
It's kind of stupid at first, but then it gets.
Well, what's the symbol? It's like a star with a circle around it.
Women like it a lot.
Well, I know a lot of women who like it.
Women love that.
So anyway, we're doing what we do. And we go on the side.
Yeah. We're neither of those people.
Man, it's a good fucking thing. Go to it.
Go to
If you're not Afghan and you're very confused by this episode, it was because we never explained what AACO is.
Yes, did not. I wanted to say something though. If you want to get married, you should go to AACO. I think you should.
I think you'll find
great candidates.
there's a lot of intelligent. Yeah, it's pretty much like it's kind of like
Amusement park.
it's amusement. Yes, because the rides. Oh, you to be this tall?
It could be this tall.
No, it's like they're vetting people for you. Do you know what I'm saying?
That is exactly.
They've already like, this person is a professional. This person's interesting. For some reason,
They're your mother.
they're your mother, but hip and cool.
Yes.
Not that cool, like reasonably cool.
Yes.
They're like your mother.
They're your mother.
Yeah, they're probably even less. They probably get offended more than your mother.
Yes, they will get more offended.
But yeah, that's all. And then there was the reunion thing. We went to that.
Oh yeah, we did go to the reunion.
That was
thing.
fun.
Yeah, it was.
You
We needed it to be there. Thank you for going there.
forced me. You dragged me to it.
Dragged you. I drove you, and I said, "Come."
Yeah, and I'm not mad that I went.
Glad
It's
you
cool to kill on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I personally hate those kind of things.
It's a mela.
I hate. You already know. I didn't want to even go to your fucking thing.
I know.
I hate this kind of.
I
thing.
understand. I understand.
But I understand obligations as a friend.
Yeah.
So I
Wait,
did it.
we're friends with her?
Professionals as coworkers.
Coworkers. Exactly. Networking. But yeah, I think the reunion was dope. I think it was great to see people come back again. And I like people that haven't been to AAC going there. And then they're like, oh, I heard about this conference.
Yeah.
What is it all about? And they see the people and then they start applying afterwards. And some people just be like, I don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah, and then you get some weirdos.
Yeah.
But I feel like everybody has weirdos.
It's everywhere. Our community needs the weirdos.
I don't know if they need them, but they have them.
Well, they need public weirdos because then if you are a weirdo privately, you're just like, oh shit, I'm alone in this. But if someone's like, hey, I'm weird and I'm public about me being weird, then they're like, I'm not alone.
Yeah, we got to get them together.
Yes.
They're in a group.
They can mate.
And then have a little baby weirdo.
Awjiz.
I think what happens if you get two weirdos, coolest kid ever. It's like when two attractive people have an ugly baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Man.
Yeah.
I read that.
You need two autistic people.
Yep.
Make just a fucking jock.
Do they?
I don't know. Dude, Aaron Rodgers' parents? Oof.
Really?
No.
What do you know about this?
That's why he won't take the vaccine.
Can I ask you just one last question to end this off? Though?
Yeah.
If you were the president or whatever, AAC,
Basically, yeah.
just one thing you would change. One thing you would change, add or whatever.
No women.
Yeah.
What I would change is it's easy to judge, but I would be. It's maybe this is what it's supposed to be, and maybe I'm misreading it.
Sure.
But there's two things that will change.
Got it.
All right. One, it feels so corporate.
Yeah.
It feels so corporate.
But I like that.
I guess I showed up in shorts this year because like I'm not fucking.
Yes.
I'm not getting me wear a fucking dress up
Like,
shirt.
forget this.
Yeah, it was on purpose. So a little too corporate for my liking.
A little corporate.
But I get it. That might be part of it. Two, there is so much emphasis on sadness.
Yes.
Like I was talking to this with
Trauma bonding. Is that what you're saying?
so much trauma bonding.
Yes.
Where like I was talking to some of the people at the reunion the other day, and they were like, "Yeah, it's cool, but everything just like everybody just keeps opening up about their trauma left and right." I'm like, it's okay to open up about your trauma, but like, I'll go
So
to.
how is it corporate and now you're opening up?
That's what I'm saying. It's confusing because you have both of those words.
very confusing.
Like you'll go to like they have like seminars. I went to like the finance seminar, and someone will just raise their hand and be like, "I was molested." Man. What does this have to do with anything right now, dude?
I can't help but laugh at that.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious.
But people are gonna be triggered by this clip that we're gonna post.
Whatever.
This is the
dude.
clip.
Yeah, I'm like, we're here talking about like, I believe your truth.
I
It's
believe
live your
you.
truth.
Yes.
This is not the place.
That's not the moment right now.
There's other seminars.
Yeah, the
We could
male
cry.
and female caucus.
Cry there.
Yes.
I'm trying to learn about stocks and bonds. I don't even know about your uncle. You know what I'm saying? Unless like he's a finance bro or something.
Yes.
Unless it's just irrelevant. Unless you're getting triggered by what you're seeing.
Yes. Yes.
They're like, oh man, I got fingered by the Dow Jones.
And someone's like saying it as like a like a joke, and then the guy's like, "Well, speaking of that,
Yeah. Well, it goes up and it goes down sometimes. Well, it's a bear market. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of trauma, and like every speaker,
yeah,
I don't know how it was this time, but like all those like keynote speakers,
yeah,
they all just talk about how much hardship and I'm like, I understand we go through a lot of where's the optimism?
Yes.
Where's like, hey man, it's gonna be good. I'm just a happy guy.
Yes.
And you just got to keep positive and things will work out.
yes,
There's none of that. It's all like, we are kicked to the ground. We are dirt, but we will rise up. I'm like,
I have a question for you though.
go ahead.
Okay, so you're a comic.
Yeah.
You know how to change your set based on the audience.
Yeah.
How much do you think is people being like, wait, I should emphasize on my trauma because that's what people like, so I should use that.
It might be people fucking pandering.
I feel like they have to use some trauma because if they're like, look at this good thing happened to me and then this other good thing and this other, people are
I
like,
get a little bit. I understand. Everybody loves a rags to riches.
yes,
But like, not every single motherfucker is rags to riches.
yes.
I know some of these people.
Some people are rich as the richest.
Some
Most
people
people
are
are rich as the richest.
Mostly it just stays rich.
Yes.
That's for this. It stays poor.
Yes.
Rags to riches is beautiful.
Yes.
Also, but don't get me wrong. I like hearing about people. Like there's some stuff like
Yeah.
like the drug use thing I saw like on YouTube or whatever by
Yeah.
one of the homies.
Yes.
That shit smoked.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, his thing was beautiful.
I think so
And
too.
there's a time and place. But if I hear 5 guys who are like fucking talking about their trauma over and over again, I'm like, what? We're more than this.
Yes.
We do other things too.
We do.
Talk about the cool shit. Talk about some levity.
Yes.
I don't want to be I'm almost crying every single seminar that I'm going to. I was like, I can't.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's it.
But then again, we can't talk about what happened this year because we didn't go to this year.
Yeah, who knows?
So maybe this year it was not that.
Exactly. So, but I was
2024.
I went to the reunion yesterday, and that's what something people brought up to me.
Oh.
And then it clicked in my brain. It's like, you're right. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, I went to a different years than to other people. And they're like, yeah, that happened during my year too. And I'm like, okay. And then some girl was like, yeah, I couldn't even go to all the things because it was like, I was just crying so much.
Yes.
And I was like, it's good to cry. It's good to talk about your problems. And like, there are seminars where like, I'm sure like if you go to the LGBTQ one,
Mm-hmm.
you have to talk about how hard it was. You know what I'm saying? It's not right over there. But like, hey man, if you're in the finance one or the marketing one,
Yes.
I don't need to know about your trauma. I'm not here for that right now.
I agree.
So yeah, less trauma.
Can I say
Yeah.
the things that I would do?
Yeah.
I would make ASC 2 times a year.
Wow, that's a little cocky.
I would make an East Coast one and a West Coast
I
one.
like that.
So I would do the East Coast the first half of the year and the West Coast the second half of the year because the weather's still good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the reunions, I would have it every quarter. Every quarter is a reunion. I need
That's
to keep.
doing, I think that's doing too much.
No, that's every 4 months.
I know what a fucking quarter is. But what do you do?
Or 3 months.
Whatever, dude. Who gives a shit?
But okay, you're right.
It is every 3 months.
Yeah.
You said the wrong thing.
I said the wrong thing. You're doing.
I know what it is. So
Okay, I'm sorry. You're like, that's okay. I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
but I okay. I'll let you go. But I think that's insane.
I want to increase the frequency.
Bro, we went to the one goddamn reunion. There's like 10 people there.
Yes, but the reason I would do that is because if I can make it a consistent thing and it's doing well, then those things could be potentially kind of like ticketed a little bit higher.
I see.
And people would pay for that.
Mm.
And that becomes more opportunities to get more sponsorship and bring money into that thing. I think if the organization has money, and I think the people are great people that are part of the organization today, shout out Omar Aziz, shout out Diz, I fuck with Diz, and shout out everyone else that's involved. They're amazing people.
Diz.
E2
Diz.
D2 Diz.
D2.
D2 Dawood.
D2? No,
Yeah.
E2, fool.
No, Diz is kind of like Dawood 0.5. To think of
Hilarious.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, he's in every way.
Yeah. We love you, bro.
Yeah.
You know that.
does.
I do.
No,
But what I would do is once I have more money coming to the organization, because I feel like these are great people that know how to allocate the funds once the money's there. They need the people that can actually, the finance bros. I want you finance bros, finance Afghans, get involved to the AAC because that's what they need you the most. And once we can have an organization that's successful like this, when we have these I don't know, biannually, what is it called? Semi-annually, where it's like two. Okay, anyways,
Whatever.
the first half and the second half are
Sapio annually.
Sapio annually. That's exactly Sapio annually. And when you have the Sapio annually conferences, the East Coast and the West Coast, now we can have like, all right, the East Coast one, let's get all the East Coast people specifically, and then we could say like 75% East Coast, 25% West, and then the West Coast there. Because as we build stronger communities on each side, then it's like, oh, we're doing something great, and then potentially every 3 to 5 years we can have this massive
In the
one.
middle.
No, we could go to Europe. Like they could expand. Like this is
That defeats the entire purpose of AAC.
well, it's Afghan-American Conference, but they could say, okay, Afghan-European Conference. Like it could be an
yeah, they can go international. Fair.
But it's like we need people to have a bit better vision of like, okay, the diaspora is growing everywhere. What else can we do? What can we do with Australian
we
Afghans?
should do
The
ready?
Netherlands. Let's hear it.
In Afghanistan.
That one might be the hardest one to pull. All right. But I feel like it will help with more men applying,
Yeah, that's fair.
or at least men showing up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
So what do you think? I guess it is kind of a woman kind of a thing to do.
Well, you have to apply and it's a complicated process. So a lot of guys,
You think guys are confused by that?
of course, the reason why it's getting more men will start applying now is because ChatGPT.
Okay.
Yep.
Wrap up?
I'm done with this topic.
Yeah.
But
a lot
we
about these
we
fuckers.
helped them a lot. So Afghan-American Conference, if
This
you
is free fucking publicity.
this is free publicity because the people that listen
How
to
good
us,
is the publicity? Medium. I think we give a very fair assessment because we still enjoyed it and we still recommend it.
yeah, we do.
But we talked about what went wrong for us,
Yeah.
so you can avoid it. If you're a comedian or a rapper,
Yeah.
now you know how to.
Or a marketer or into DoorDash or
Yeah.
Greece.
They should have a DoorDash seminar.
They should.
I swear that'd be hilarious. I'd go to that. I'd lead it. I love the door, dude. I would
By
love
the
that.
Awjiz Boys, featuring the Awjiz Boys. Hey guys. All right, guys. This has been fun. Until next time.
I would like to do a live podcast at AACO one year eventually. That would be fun. There it is. All right.
That's what we're gonna do.
You're watching Awjiz Boys Show.